had to happen, didn't it?
We've been waiting 8 years for this fight, and now it's here, and I just can't wait for the fight to get started.
Can we take it that you're right behind Lennox Lewis tonight?
I don't know. I think Tyson's going to come out of this straight on Lennox Lewis like Johnny Bravo. He ain't going to muck around. He's going to be straight on him, put pressure on him, and I think that Tyson can stop him early if he gets on him.
And from Lennox Lewis's point of view, and presumably you would be well happy to see a British fighter retain the world heavyweight title, what questions do you want answered about Lewis, the fighter, tonight?
I think the whole British public, not just me, I think the whole British public want to see him go out there on his shield and have a real fight. I think we've all... Has he got it in him? Oh, of course, yeah. You see him do it to Galata. Yeah. You see him do it to a lot of fighters, but we really want to see... I don't know, maybe because everybody finds Lennox so relaxed and we want to see that kind of British bulldog spirit. I don't know.
It's been a very unusual venue and an unusual build-up throughout this week. Ian Darke watched it all unfold.
It's control. It's not about losing it with someone. It's about keeping...
Fight since goodness knows when. Now, Colin, does Tyson seem right to you here?
Well, Tyson hasn't talked to us. He only talked to a few school children a couple of days ago. He seems right. He certainly seems fit. What his state is mentally, we won't know until that first bell clangs. I mean, Tyson, as you know, can go off like a firework at any given moment. So we just hope that he's concentrated on being a fighter and not a biter.
Boxing needs some sort of thriller or classic here. It doesn't want another trip into the mud.
You're absolutely right, and I don't think we're going to get a trip into the mud. I think this is going to be a legitimate fight, and the best man will win.
You've seen all the big fights for such a long time. How does the atmosphere here compare to the days of Frazier, Foreman and Ali?
Well, of course, this isn't a traditional fight town, and the locals have been magnificent in the build-up to it. But I would say there's more tension before this fight than I've seen since that 1971 first Ali Frazier fight in Madison Square Garden in New York, and again the rumble in the jungle in Zaire between Ali and Foreman. There's a lot of tension about.
What's your gut feeling about what's going to happen? I know it's hard to predict.
Well, I've gone for Tyson in 3 rounds. I still think he's the most dangerous 3-round heavyweight in the world.
There's no danger that we're thinking of the 88 Tyson and not the one of today.
I'm not thinking of the 88 Tyson. The 88 Tyson went in 1988. It's just that, you know, Lewis has an innate caution. He should win this fight easily. He's so big and strong and powerful. He should meet Tyson in the center of the ring, jab him and throw that big right hand at him and back him up. Then Tyson will be a beaten man. But if he does what I think he's going to do, what he's always done, back up to the ropes, tentatively pour out that jab, Tyson will be on him like a tiger.
Thanks a lot, Cole, but it's another tip for Mike Tyson here.
Who, Nicky, fights on approved medication by all reports from the United States. Is that as it should be tonight? Does he have a right to earn a living, Mike Tyson?
Well, I mean, everybody has the right to earn a living. That's what the law says. But those interviews when I first saw them shocked me. They really did. I mean,
come on, you're a man of the world. You've heard it all.
No, I know, but that's, you know, that really shows the mind of the man. The man is totally mixed up.
Nothing new in this. We've known this for years.
No, but they were really bad. I mean, the things he said to that lady reporter were bad. You know, we hadn't seen those. That lady reporter interview was really shocking.
Well, I've seen that, but that didn't shock me. That didn't shock me so much as he talking about God and all of that sort of thing. I think he's a mixed-up fella. He's a very upset and disturbed guy.
Well, we're all mixed up, Barry, aren't we?
Well, he's more so than the rest of us, I think.
He's basically he's a time bomb waiting to explode, you know. And I truly believe, I don't believe that Tyson, if he loses this fight, if he feels it's going the other way, he will do something to get out of there.
Well,
I
don't
just
worry
believe
about tomorrow, Spencer. You have tipped him, but with what confidence? Even tonight, does he get the job done and gets into the ring and gets his paycheck?
I believe he will get the job done because I believe I said to you, I believe that he's taking it as a 6-round fight and he's going to go and throw everything at Lennox. And if he hits Lennox, he'll go over and he'll stay
there.
Is
He doesn't lose well. He doesn't lose well.
Is there another factor, Spencer, that gives you some hope that actually boxing is the one thing that gives him a sense of focus and a sense of purpose?
Well, that's true.
I mean, I would love... Yeah, I mean, boxing keeps him, obviously, he keeps him straight because I think Tyson, once his boxing career's over, I mean, this man's going to be, you know, who knows where he's going to be.
One interesting thing I will say about the fight, everybody, Colin Hart included, says either Tyson early or Lewis late. I tell you, a friend of mine said he went to the bookies today and he's been given odds of 16-1 for the first, second, or third rounds. I think that's
Nicky,
brilliant
briefly
odds.
and finally, does boxing give Mike Tyson a sense of direction in his whole
It's the only direction he has. He knows nothing else, will never know anything else.
Thank you.
The Royal Marine's in there to help him if Tyson loses his rag.
I'm the most accepted rogue and disgusting individual in this world, you know what I mean? Everybody knows who I am. They may shake my hand, but, I assure you they won't let me their daughter or anything because of my reputation that came about over the years.
Can't you be a positive story?
Nah, no way. It can't come across. That's why I won't talk nice to you and talk about fornicating with you and letting you suck my because if I was eloquent with you, you would still look at me as a scumbag. It won't work. You have your perception of me. You elicit your perception of me from the camera, from the news. So I give you what you want and what I am miniaturely.
After being rejected by several other US states, the fight was accepted by the Tennessee Boxing Commission. In a few hours' time, Tyson will finally face Britain's Lennox Lewis in Memphis, and Tyson's approach to the fight is all too familiar.
I want his brain to come in contact with my fist. That's what I want in his brain. I don't want to put any vocal assaults or anything, but I want to put physical assaults. I want to damage his brain. Their eyes haven't seen what I've seen. I'm ordained for this. I've been to Valhalla. I've seen the most vicious and most cruelest and coldest white people in the world. They accept me. He can't stop me. Him.
I don't think anybody, including Mike Tyson, knows who the real Mike Tyson is. I even think he has so many personalities he could get a group discount from the American Psychiatric Association just by lying on the couch.
I think because there is no real Mike Tyson, there are 6 or 8 Mike Tysons. And he has said that himself, that I'm more than one person. And the whole mystery of this fight is, can someone who's an emotional mess still have one great performance? Because he can still punch like a son of a bitch, and he still has astonishing hand speed. And all Tyson has to do is dominate this fight for 1 second.
The thing that he would worry about going into this fight would be, he'd be humiliated if he lost. See, if he's in trouble in the fight, Tyson, I don't know what could happen, what goes through his mind. Nobody can read his mind like that. I would like to think the cornermen can keep him a bit under control, and possibly they can, but he can explode at any second.
I believe that Tyson will win the fight. I do believe that Tyson will win the fight.
And I picture Lennox being cautious for a couple of rounds. As soon as he opens up, I think he'll hurt Mike and take him out.
I think Mike Tyson for 4 rounds, or even 5 rounds, will be very dangerous for Lennox Lewis.
If the fight goes more than 4 or 5 rounds, then I think Lewis will take him apart and knock him out.
But I think in the first 5 rounds, I would have to put my money on Mike Tyson.
I think he should be considered as one of the greatest heavyweights that ever lived. By society standards, he's gonna get ripped up.
Mike Tyson's legacy is not going to be that of a boxer. It's going to be that of a personality. And the personality will transcend the boxing. Unfortunately for Mike, he will not go down in boxing history, but in popular history.
Everyone wants to see the hero who was a hero become a hero again, and everyone will forget about all the nonsense. If that doesn't happen, if Lennox beats him, well then I think that he'll be like the tragedy of boxing in the last part of the 20th century.
He's definitely not too good around the old whiskers. You've seen him over a few times. And I just think that Tyson, with his hand speed and his punching power, has the equipment to beat Lewis.
Lewis is far too composed, far too professional mentally, physically, the way he's trained and everything. I expect a victory within mid to late rounds.
This fight will define Mike Tyson. He can be spoke about in the same breath as the guys like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, Joe Frazier and co.
I think Tyson's going to come out strong early on. If Lewis can get past the first 3 rounds, I think he's definitely going to win it by stoppage later.
I think the further it goes, the more it would shift to Lennox, but I just see Tyson clocking him, to be honest. But come on, Lennox, we're all behind the Brits, aren't we?
Lennox Lewis has been at the top for that long, and he's been fighting the best for that long, and he's got the tools to go out there and do whatever he wants to do in that fight. So it's all down and up to Lennox.
Evander Holyfield, still going strong at 39.
he was the best cruiserweight that's ever lived and then moved up to win the World Heavyweight title in 1990. He's had 7 battles with the 3 other great fighters of his generation. The epic first encounter with Riddick Bowe, which swung this way, then that.
What a fighter this Evander Holyfield is!
Their memorable second meeting when he regained the championship and an astonishing third.
Oh, he's got him in a left hook! That's extraordinary!
He looked on the way out, but Holyfield returned to stun Mike Tyson.
That is the biggest upset in the fight game, bar none.
And then frustrate him into an act of lunacy. He had difficulties with Lennox Lewis in both of their unification meetings, but still gave everything he had.
This is how good boxing can be.
So where better to go than the Holyfield mansion for a revealing insight into the 2 men he knows so well.
Me being a student of the game of boxing, I know boxing inside and out, and there's a great chance that when I said somebody gonna win, they usually win. Tyson have knocked out a lot of people in the status of Lennox Lewis. Same height, same weight, same arm reach, and Tyson tend to do better with guys that way, more so than somebody his height or not taller than him. This could be a fight that would be more to Tyson's advantage.
You think Tyson will hit him and probably knock him out?
Yeah, I think Lennox, he don't bend, he just break, you know. He don't get wobbled, he just get knocked out. He's never got off the canvas when he fell down, so there's no reason for me to think that he gonna get off the canvas either. He got a good trainer. I will take my hat off to Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart is a very good trainer. He, you know, it's can you do what he say? If you can do what he say, then your chances are you can win. Both these guys, student of the game, both of them, equally, you know, as good. And you know, and the guy that give their all is the guy that actually gonna win. It's you know, don't nobody know the size of a person's heart till they get in a fight.
What's fascinating about it is that you don't know, I don't know, and no one out there knows who's going to win, do we?
Well, no, they don't, because you know what? That's what make fights and make a fight bigger than what you would call just a fight. It's an event because no one knows and everybody wants to know. You know, people looking to see something dirty happen. I don't think nothing like that would really happen. I think Tyson was shining in this fight, and why he got all the people attention. Say, hey, I made a mistake that time, and I didn't do it this time. Now I'm back to champion. Now it's time for me to be a good boy again.
So the Evander Holyfield prediction for June the 8th in Memphis is?
That Tyson win by knockout.
Well, here at ringside, a pleasure and privilege to be joined by the great Sugar Ray Leonard. Quite some atmosphere and quite some fight here.
Well, this much anticipated fight is becoming a reality. The fight fans are just waiting eagerly for this great anticipation to see who is indeed the true champion.
And what's your gut feeling about which way it might go?
You know, it's really interesting the way, because when the fight was first made, I leaned really heavily towards Lennox Lewis. But since then, I mean, my gut reaction tells me that there may be more left of Mike Tyson than expected. I think that would be the case and evident in the very first round. Whether or not Mike Tyson comes out bobbing and weaving, using upper body movement is yet to be seen, because he can't beat Lennox no other way than to get inside those long arms.
You were always a master of the psychological warfare as well as the real warfare when you got into the ring. How important is that here? Might one of them just snap a bit psychologically in the moments leading up to the fight? You've seen that so often in Tyson fights before.
I think that's indeed possible and could possibly happen. With that being said, if Lennox Lewis is able to utilize his height advantage, his reach advantage, really frustrate Mike, then you might see Mike become unraveled, and then he'll be very susceptible to being knocked out. This fight means so much to both fighters, particularly to Mike Tyson. I think this fight here is a win that could put him back on top.
Final question, what are you up to these days? Managing and promoting, I hear.
I'm promoting. I have a show every first Friday of every month on ESPN2, and I also do motivational speaking. So life is full, life is great.
All right, enjoying yourself. We'd love to see you back in Britain sometime.
Thank you so much.